My upbringing in Port Talbot influences everything I do. I really wanted to be a Welsh artist. It's really important for the arts that there isn't a paucity of voices. There's a certain demographic of person who becomes an opera director, and the fact that I don't fit that mould I think is actually my kind of superpower as an artist. It's quite a startling image when you come into Port Talbot. You have this enormous steelworks and it's kind of almost sci-fi in its kind of scale and scope, and when it was at full capacity it felt pretty full on to come past this smoke belching monster on the edge of town, you know, it was really something. And because the council built a motorway, but they didn't build it around the town, they instead built it straight through the town. It means that you don't come into Port Talbot to come through Port Talbot, you kind of go over it. So it certainly was literally bypassed, and psychologically I think when I was growing up you do feel a bit like the world has kind of forgotten you. What you end up with is this really extraordinary, accidental, brutalist dystopia, which is really striking and often quite shocking to see houses that lie right underneath the motorway, or streets where one side is actually the motorway underpass. Then at the other side of the town you've got mountain range and countryside, and there's a kind of beauty and a kind of strangeness to it that always really fascinated me when I was young. I think I was always directing. Madonna's True Blue album is definitely the first thing I directed in my mind a million times. And I still put that album on and I still know exactly how I would stage every single thing from the age of 5 years old. So I think that it's always been something that I've been obsessed with. But at the time I just didn't realise this is what I was doing, because it's not a job that someone tells, you know, a kid from Port Talbot, you know, the idea that someone would ever have told me that I could be a director of opera, I mean, that was never going to happen. It was amazing to make Berenice, which was my second opera. That was really great fun, and my first Handel opera. And that's actually started a long-term relationship between me and Handel's music, which obviously continues with Semele at Glyndebourne. And there's something about that music, it really sings to me. In a weird way, I think it kind of comes back to listening to Madonna's songs. There's something about the kind of da capo aria and pop songs, which I don't think that they're a million miles away from each other. You know, the music is really compelling. There's a recapitulation of what's been said already, where the meaning actually kind of unveils itself. And I genuinely think that there's something about spending my youth dressed in my mum's net curtains, dancing around to Madonna. That kind of is to thank for my love of Baroque repertoire.